Okay, let me make sure that we are live. Is it going? What are we doing here? It says we're streaming. Yep. Yep. Very cool. All right. I had to double check that. All right, everybody here, let me get online and make sure if you have, if you're online right now, Hakasan, can you just let everybody know that I'm loading? And apparently I'm loading.
I'm online.
You're not online? Okay.
No, I am.
Oh, you are. Can you let folks know that our October guild meeting starting?
Oh, I can. I have to log back in because I just turned it off.
That defeats
Literally,
the
I
purpose.
just said it.
He's trying to be attentive, and you like distracting him.
I did. I did. I was like, oh, I gotta get fully
I-
engaged in this meeting. Maybe get out of this mythic. No, I wasn't doing anything.
Okay. Why am I still loading? Was there like a huge patch? I don't know about. Hi, Celeria. Mishakel is here. Hi, Mishakel. Welcome. I'm getting online.
Hello.
I'm getting online, and we are going to add you to the guild. So that's great. Welcome. We have a guild meeting third Tuesday. I couldn't get that out of my mouth of every month. Just to touch base and make sure we are all groovy and give folks a chance to provide feedback and tell me how bad I'm messing up. All right. So we are kind of at a standstill in the Mythic team. Not something you want to hear, but we definitely want to, progress through Lumi. I'm pretty confident we're gonna get there. I know that we've had some shifts in the roster and stuff like that, and again, I really sorry about that. But it is what it is, and we have moved forward. So we're still looking for another tank. Outlander, he just couldn't make the schedule work for him. So he is going to look for a guild that can satisfy that East Coast schedule. He does work late, so he thought this would be good for him, but didn't quite do it. So we are looking for a secondary tank, and then for now, Hakasan, I'm going to be asking that you take that temporarily or maybe even permanently. I don't know, depending on how you like it. Right? And
I don't mind it right now.
Yeah.
And like I said, me and Koffel will connect with Fel and
Yeah.
Over it.
And the other thing is, I would really like to see, when Koff comes back, I'd really like to see him take on the Warlock, since Bearless is on a break. So I would probably say that that's something I would be looking forward to see him do. Hopefully, is bring the Warlock in. So that's something that we're still looking for more ranged. The team really could use some more ranged. Oh, there's the Dinars. Oh, look at that. I just logged in. There it is. There we go. Okay. All right. I think that took forever today. That was a very long patch. It was down for a while. I didn't expect it to be down like that, to be honest. But I think the thing that I want to kind of impress upon folks the most is, I think for the most part, our Olympic team are the folks that are on that roster. So if I'm looking at that roster, I think everyone, Wrong. I just did that wrong. I think everyone does, in fact, have their heroic boots. So we are, yeah, we are going to be needing really nothing from there. And obviously, I'm not sure that we will get to kill soul hunters, but that'd be great if we could. So I don't know if you guys wanted to save a dinar for that. That's kind of a good idea, but if you're not not looking at any of that, and you haven't gotten your myth trinket off of Luminar, I would wait. I would wait. So that you guys can get at least your myth trinket, specifically the astral antenna. So then I think that from there, I think that basically our roster's still pretty good. We are still missing a couple of key classes. I definitely want to see a Shadow Priest and a Holy Disc Priest come in. I think that would be great. We have Mish, who's going to be taking this role right here, so that's going to be wonderful. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that after the meeting, Mish, but I think for the most part, after the meeting, we get going with the Olympians. It's their night. It's their raid night. So, but I can definitely talk a little bit more about that. Cough Drop comes back tomorrow. Man, I really miss him. I'm not gonna lie. I miss his humor. I miss his dirty jokes. And I miss him picking on Nyletha. Probably most of all. Just kidding. But yeah, so he'll be back tomorrow. So I think he'll be back to raiding on Thursday. I hope so. And if he wants to take that Thursday to kind of, catch up, which I don't think Fel will let him, that might be a good idea. Nonetheless, I think that this will be the week that we finally get Lumathar down. And so that will be a great thing for us to do for those of you guys who want to get those trinkets from that boss. Now, generally, I'd like to know what do you guys think in general about how the raid is going? I know that, like I said, we had that hiccup and we're coming back from it. Is there any feedback from you guys on the raid team? How have you liked it with Fel at the helm, etc., etc.? And he's not here, so we can talk bad about him. I'm just kidding.
He's been doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's been he's been doing awesome with communicating with the team and kind of getting the game plan going. Adjusting the notes for Lumathar and everything. Been doing good, my opinion.
Great, excellent. Anybody else has some feedback on the team and how it's been going the last few weeks?
I mean, I think it goes without saying that changing tanks every week has been rough for actually progging the fight.
Yeah.
And obviously, we had to replace a lot of people a couple of weeks ago. So that will certainly slow down progression, but we've had the people to raid, and so that's good.
Yeah. I'm very happy to continue the efforts to to find us more raiders and replace those spots. And I'm still looking all the time. And obviously it's really hard, I will say, to recruit for Pacific Coast times. It has been from the beginning. I find that to be quite shocking for me. Having previously been an East Coast guild, that was easy. That was so easy. But this has been quite a bit harder to do, I will say. I just think the majority of guilds are East Coast or Central time zone based guilds. So that has been a real hardship.
Usually Prague helps too.
I
Once we
know.
get once we get a Lumathar kill, then people who have killed Lumathar already will be
Yeah,
like, "Oh my
open up.
god,
Yeah,
a new guild on Fort Weaver. Let me go get in there."
yeah, 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 yeah.
It should be easy enough to kill the boss if people farm up Gilded Crest this week.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think that the new strategy that fell put forward was really good. I was watching you guys, and I thought that was an interesting strat, and I think it really worked well. What did you guys think about that? The new
With
strat?
non-soaking the
Yeah,
beams.
yeah.
I mean, it worked obviously on DPS or I didn't tank it that way. I DPS'd it that way. But I mean, I guess that question's kind of for the healers, right? I mean, I think
Yeah.
overall, like it's simple for positioning for DPS, and tanks doesn't change. It's just the AoE damage, right?
Yeah.
From the
So
healer perspective, I think it was good.
yeah, yeah. Have you healed both for that boss
Yeah,
Mythic?
we did both in that night. The first half was like the first one, and also I think last week we did it too.
Okay. And how did you
And then
find that
the
from
second
that
one,
healer? You thought it was much better that way?
it ends up being the same because once one or two people die, we're just healing it anyways.
Yeah.
So it's better to be prepared to do it in the beginning. I feel like.
Okay. Okay. And then Lockbird, if you can chime in on that, how did you feel about the different strats from a healing perspective?
Locked did mention to me yesterday that he was at 5% mana on the phase 2.
Hmm. Did we? Yeah.
I found a solution for the mana. We're good. I get
Okay.
like 2% less healing, but infinite mana, so I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's gonna help. That's gonna help Solaria's numbers.
No, it won't.
No,
No, it
it
won't.
won't. No, it won't. No, it won't. Well, I think also just making sure maybe you can coordinate with Solaria and have her give you her innerbait as well.
Yep. Here, yeah, we were.
Okay, good, excellent, wonderful. I love that. Okay, and then how was it from a perspective of DPS and mechanics? Any feedback from for anybody else in the team? As far as mechanics and nice feedback, creative, constructive. And anyone?
We're still cutting it really close to the tangles, and the room's getting real small.
Yeah, okay. All right. So our switching needs to be a lot quicker and a lot heavier.
Can I say one thing?
Yes,
about
of
that?
course.
Whenever we're running out with our webs with the dot on us,
Mm-hmm.
people just need to move over a little bit when the whole group runs out, so we're not dropping webs right inside of the raid. It's a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I did mention that as an issue also because I'm killing myself trying not to kill other people.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that's really really good feedback. So we have to tighten those that specific section of the fight. I did notice that as well. But great.
But we should be dropping those tangles right next to the existing webs on the floor and making room for the people with tangles next to us as well. So I think that means the raid needs to shift over and give some space for the tangle people to drop their webs, right?
Yeah.
Completely agree. Especially when that over infusion blast or whatever it is happens, more often than not, I'm struggling to get out of the tangles, and then by the time I get out, everyone is piled on top of where I'm supposed to go. So we just need to move like 2 feet to the right, and we're fine.
Yeah, if you don't have a tangle on the run back, you should be 10, 15 yards to the right. Give some space for the people to drop their webs.
Yeah, I agree, Dog. Good feedback. I think that if we tighten those little bits, man, this thing is down. Like Val said, if we get into that last phase, it's a done deal, right? So it's really that first. It's a phase 1 boss, pretty much like the Mencius. It's a phase 1 boss. So I think that we've got it, and I think we're really close to the kill on that. I was really happy to see us get to 38%, so that was great. All right, and then we will be running Mythic from here on out, guys, for the Olympians. So my next update better include 3 bosses. So when I do my spreadsheet and I'm calculating some of this feedback and I'm calculating these numbers right here that I like to keep up so that you guys can keep kind of like a good pulse on how you're doing and how you're improving and all that good stuff. I typically have gotten these numbers from your the heroic runs, right? So I'm going to be getting them from the mythic runs now. And so that will definitely we're leaving the heroic run behind. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't still need some of that rep. So if you guys from the Olympians want to join us on Wednesdays for our heroic run from the Prophets team, you are more than welcome to come. If you do come on your mains, I will, organize loot. Like I've always said, I prioritize mains, even if they are your mains from Olympians. We understand as a guild that, whatever. But you guys probably don't need a whole lot still from other than rep, right? But if you decide to bring alts, that's a different story. Or if you have a main in the team, there's a couple of you that actually do have a main in the Prophets team as well. So that's like a secondary main that I call, like demonic, and things like that. So just note that. I'm always willing to help folks, Gad and I, and Celeria when I take her back, because by the way, she's temporarily borrowed to the Olympians, and I want to make sure everybody understands. You are borrowing Celeria. She's gonna want to come back.
Yes, ma'am.
So when that happens, I will probably, demote myself to the normals and let Gad and Celeria take the Prophets officially. But nonetheless, once I find those healers, like I said, I want a couple of priests, man. That PI is sexy, and we know it, and especially for warlocks, death knights, mages, even. PI is really, really great. So I definitely want to find us a priest, a holy / disc priest. Disc is looking really good. There's going to be some major improvements come midnight to disc. And holy is really going to be based on palm. So prayer mending is getting a huge thing in that. So holy is just basically going to be reworked to be a palm bot, which I'm not necessarily excited about. But they're taking away my divine word, so I'm really upset about that. Nonetheless, so once we can do that, I'll take Celeria back. I think we would still need a druid for the buff, so I might try to, I don't know, maybe we switch Mangina over to your druid, because you have a druid.
I do.
And
What do you need him for?
Kitty or balance, either one.
He's balanced right now, but
Okay.
I want him to be kitty.
Okay, all right, there you go. So yeah, I think that that could be a good possibility, specifically because we have so many Death Knights. We have 4, even though they bring the pain. That's for sure. They're you guys are really rocking it over there. So
they bring the raid buff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right. So, but yeah, that's super cool, and I'll take my Celeria back. Sorry, she's mine. I've peed on her. She's mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then.
She likes that. Okay, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, so that will be cool. I think also we have had to have a vacation for Grizz. Grizz got some work schedule changes. He's in game dev also, guys, and so just like me. So he's kind of working on that. So he's not going to be available for a couple of weeks there. So we'll fill that in. We'll backfill that in from the bench. Okay. Now, profits. Let me talk a little bit about profits and what I kind of want to kind of throw back to you guys and see how you guys feel about that. Is, profits is having a hard time with the Mencius. I kind of recognized I'm probably part of that problem. And what I would really like to do is kind of figure out a way to get the AOTC for that team, for the majority of that team anyway, and be able to kind of close out the season with everybody getting their AOTC in the guild. Everybody that wants it getting right. So a couple of options that I think would be good. One of the things that I didn't think was good was us cutting down the roster of profits. First of all, you really don't have a whole lot of primary raiders in profits. People that are committed to these time zones are few. We have very few of them. And what I really would like to, we have a lot of folks that are in the bench, a lot of folks that are committed to those raids, kind of either occasionally, or they're a mythic alt, or they're, one of the raid days they're not able to make, while the other one they are. So there's a couple of situations where, we have a lot of people coming in from the bench. But that's created a bit of a problem in the prog situation, as you can probably imagine, right? Like having a revolving door of characters that aren't, super consistent, makes it a little bit more difficult to prog that boss. Does that make sense?
Yep.
What phase are you in?
Yeah. So I really would like to see, now that, the Olympians are going to be dropping the heroic grade, there might be some assistance in that end from you guys. So what I wanted to do is have you guys kind of have a vote. There's going to be a vote. I'm going to throw that up at the end of the meeting. And the options that we had, and Celeria wrote them down for me, is, we continue as normal. We add, the people that have come with us on bench. We, continue trying to bang our heads against this boss, and knowing the difficulties of it, right? Specifically with the revolving roster. And that's really the crux of it, right? Like, it's just, and also me. I am a liability. I'm flat out, I admit, I'm a liability. I, do like 2.5 HPS, which is about as good as it gets for me. And my average isn't that great either. So, and that's just, so it's me. A lot of it, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm like a Taylor Swift song. But the options would be to continue as normal, keep trying to get everybody to really flex and learn and get those mechanics and things like that, right? And we can continue as is. We can do option number 2, which is to split into 10-man groups and divide it into smaller groups that have, we can execute a little tighter. There's potentially easier mechanics because, there's not that many to like heal up. There's not that many, that kind of stuff. So we could divide it into 10-mans, into separate 10-mans. That was option number 2. And kind of run one back to back, right? So like we will take one team, try our best with that, and then the other, and I will admit we will have to probably split raid leaders for that, Gad, if we do it at during the same raid, right?
Yeah.
During the same raid time. So we might have to split raid leaders, that would require us to have some people go tank as well. if we're splitting it this way, which is not a bad idea, because in some instances from our bench we do have some tanks that can occasionally come, etc., etc. So not too bad, or people that can switch out into tanking specs there. So not too terrible there, and it's always good to kind of flex those other specs, specifically if you're a druid or whatever the case may be, or if you're a ret paladin, getting that prop paladin experience as well. So that definitely is a way to do that. The third option is to size down the core team. So this means basically anybody that has the correct item level and the minimum requirements are met as far as HPS and DPS, right? So that means these numbers right here, right? And we're meeting these numbers, right? Size it down. And I mean, we have some folks that aren't quite there yet DPS wise, right? That we would have to think about sizing down, okay? We would run with the smaller core of top performers for efficient progression, and then rotate in the rest of the team to help everyone else get AOTC. How we execute that, I'm still kind of iffy. I don't know if you have some ideas around that, Gad, but let me present the fourth option. The fourth option is really keeping our core team together, including some of the folks that come in occasionally here and there, and then just helping, getting the help and assistance from our Olympians to come in, and help us get through those humps, like the guild that we are, right? We are a community guild, and we take care of each other, and that is the fourth option. So running through that, I'd like to open the floor and the discussion on that. This affects both of you guys in both those teams, but I'll let Gad kind of talk through what he has in mind for those. Gad?
For all of them, or just which one in particular?
It's just all of them. If you all of those options, how can we execute that?
Yeah, for having the normal group, how we've normally done it, it's pretty much just allowing people to get better, get more accustomed to the fight. It is going to be a challenge, as we've seen, like I said, with the bench and the occasional people. They're only going to get like half the raid time or a quarter of the raid time or whatever it's going to be. So it's probably going to take probably like a good month and a half more in order for that to realize. To do a split group, it would probably take some of the Olympians who would want to come and help us out. Like you're saying, it would require 2 raid leaders. If one of the Olympians wants to do one of the raids, I can do one of the raids. However that kind of works out with the people, that is an option. For splitting it down just to the core group and kind of whoever is able to make the DPS and HPS requirements, effectively we would run with a minimum of 10, probably up to 12, just kind of depending on who's there, who wants to do it. And we would probably rotate in a couple of people once we kind of get the fight down, and we should stay above the numbers we need to be at in order to efficiently take down Demi. And then kind of the last one is we got 30 raid spots to work with, so we can get, as many people. Yeah, I'm just brute forced it.
All right.
It will be a clusterfuck with 30 people. I'm not lying, but it would be an adventure, that's for sure.
For sure. So what do you guys think? I'll open this up to everybody.
I don't particularly like the idea of benching people who have been through all of this and put in the time and effort for a not like super progression team.
Right.
I tend to agree. I mean, there's nothing to celebrate once you accomplish that. Like, otherwise you could just join a pug and do it? Like, what's the difference?
Turbo Boost should be a big help.
I'm sorry, say that again, Doc.
Turbo Boost should be a big help.
Yeah, it definitely should. So what
How
do you?
close are you guys? What phase?
We are just now starting to kind of push into phase 2, but it seems like the problem is mostly that we have to almost reprog because, of course, we're bringing in folks who can't, commit, have that commitment to be there every Wednesday, every Friday. You know what I mean? So it's almost like we have to admit at times we have to reprog for like the first hour of the raid because so then we don't clear phase 1, but then after a little while we are clearing into phase 2 and we get to the islands and we get through the first island of phase 2. So we are starting to like more consistently get to that phase.
I mean, personally, on my end, I'm a fan of like giving it a week to just see how everyone does and see if Turbo Boost helps at all, and then maybe next week, like I would be voting for splitting into smaller groups and just like keep everybody, but split into smaller groups and try it that way. Because even I'm pretty sure even when the Olympians did it initially, they had split it into a smaller group to make it a little easier, and maybe that's just what we need.
Yeah.
And kind of the idea behind it too is for everybody to see the entire fight, right? Because with 10 people, you still need to do the mechanics. Like your DPS may need some help, and like the Olympians can help with that. But with 10 people, everybody's doing the mechanics, and if you screw it up, like you're not progressing. So don't think it's like a free ride at all, right?
Yeah,
Because you're
very true.
still very involved.
My problem, like when I was in there
Mhm.
helping out, is that like the scaling is so fucked up with different numbers. That's why groups run with like 2, 4, 14. That's like the
Yeah.
perfect scaling.
Yeah.
And so we were running with like 2, 4, 18, which made
Mhm.
the DPS checks like really, really much harder than they should have been.
So what do you think, Salami, with the options? What would be your option choice for that?
I would go with as many of the prophets as possible that have been progging it, and then bring in people to have like the perfect scaling, which is like 2, 4, 14. I can't remember what it is with 5 healers.
I think it's
But also
2 5 18.
okay, but also like Turbo Boost should help a lot, if people are pumping and like I was in there and I was like, okay, I'm pumping, but also like this DPS check is crazy with the scaling.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Lockbird, you came in there the other day with us. I mean, what did you think? I mean, obviously, it's a much different vibe, right? Like we're not like soup, it's a much different vibe, and it's kind of more fun. I want to say a little less businessy, but it also kind of have that also comes with its own drawbacks, right? So, but what are your thoughts having visited the prophets?
Uh, I don't really have anything to say about it.
Okay.
I was just there.
I'm curious, did you guys Vantis it?
We did. Most of us did.
Okay, cool.
Not till like the very end though. I want to say like last 5 polls.
Oh,
We should have
yeah.
done earlier. That was a good idea. We should do that on Wednesday first thing.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, the first phase in that fight is the hardest for
It is.
sure.
It's a phase
But
1
you
boss.
got,
Yeah.
but you gotta get reps to get phase 2 and phase 3 down. So it's just like consistently getting there is a pain. It was a pain in Olympians too.
Yeah. It's a pretty
Like we
tough
have
fight.
yet to one shot that boss.
And I mean, I'm definitely not trying to like sit people or that's not the spirit of what the prophets is supposed to be about. We are, we have 3 raid teams for very specific reasons. We like to be able to educate folks. We like to be able to provide the more casual people a place, that kind of stuff, right? So it's definitely not looking to completely sit anybody or anything like that, but you know, trying to strategically structure the team for success, right? So that's basically what we're trying to do. Because it is a hard boss, and it's probably going to be the last of the hard bosses, right?
So you never know. Just wait to see what Blizz is cooking for the next raid.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, I feel like it also depends on what people's expectations are. Like you still have until the next expansion to kill the boss, right? So you got like a million years to do this.
Right.
Yeah, but not for
Yeah, but
AOTC. AOTC is
Yeah.
is a season only achievement.
Whenever they decide to end the season, that's when AOTC and CE stop.
yeah, but if it's just like if it's your team's last prog boss, you still have a long time. And like I was wondering, like, does the majority of the team want to skip the farm bosses, or like some teams that are casual like killing easy bosses, like it feels good to do?
Yeah. So I think that to that point, I think it's very probable for us to kind of flip things around a little bit from Wednesday to Friday, where Wednesday we could do salad bar and prog dimmy, and then on Fridays we can do you know prog, maybe prog dimmy a little bit more, and then if we get too frustrated or whatever the case may be, because again we're not a super hardcore team, right? A lot of people aren't used to 30 pulls on a boss a night, but we could always switch it back out and then start it again, and clear some of those bosses that we do kind of one shot, right? Because we one shot most of the bosses almost every week. Still, Profits does. So even with the rotating round of bench players, so
Yeah. And I'm just saying these things out of curiosity. Like, I just asked because, like, when I came in and we were at rough scaling, even though I was pumping, I'm just like, I think I'm making this worse because the scaling is so crazy with this many DPS. So I'm just curious about that, but it's more like, what does the team want than what am I interested in?
I didn't think of it in that regard. So that's a really good that's a really good question. So I didn't think of it that way. But
Wouldn't the scaling be more favorable though, because you have more DPS
Not
as a
necessarily.
percentage?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also depends on the numbers, right? Because if you have more people and they're not able to push out the correct
Like 4 million
DPS they need to have,
then it becomes harder.
Right. Then you're basically on the wrong side of the equation and you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, so I'll be putting that. I created the channel for Guild Pulse, so I'll be putting that in there, and you guys should be able to discuss that in the raid chat channels. If you guys want to give me more feedback, I am the type of GM that really thrives on feedback and that kind of stuff. So, anything, and again, if the best option is we just bring everybody like we normally is, and then we get some commitment from some of the Olympians to help us through the hump, that would be fine as well, right? And I do like that, because we also then can there's a camaraderie that we can build within the teams, right? Because obviously not everybody's going to be raiding with the Mythic team, right? And it's nice to see you guys come into our raids, the lower level raids, and kind of interact with us and have fun with us and throw back a couple of dad jokes and some body humor and kick back and have some fun with us. And I think that does build up the community as a whole, right?
Yeah.
It goes both ways because we do have some people from Profits like running with Olympians right now too.
We do. And then so I'll leave that in there for in the guild polls, there'll be the poll, but you guys can have the discussion in the raid chat about it. And you just, feel free, very open about it, be open about it, and if you want to talk to any of us, you can talk to Gad, you can talk to Sale, or myself. And if you want it to be more one-on-one or whatever the case may be, we're here and we're open to all feedback, but we are trying to just get through the hump of that. I mean, obviously, as you guys can see, I mean, I just really don't have. It's really more about just not having the primary roster and people that can really commit. And that has been the issue, just having those revolving doors. And I'm terrible. I shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, but it's good to be the queen.
It's good to. I am not the queen, but I am heavily flawed. but yeah. So I really want to be able to kind of just stick to normals eventually. That's kind of my own plan, is just do the normals, hang out with the cash, all right, the cash folks that are here, and just have fun and do that. I mean, I'm pretty I've faced the facts on that, but nonetheless. And then we are doing the achievement runs on Mondays because a lot of folks are, trying to get all of those things for their houses that are coming. So that's going to be pretty cool. So every Monday, Gad is committed to running, unless we have to cancel one or whatever the case may be. We're committed to kind of running through that. So do sign up for that if you want to get some of those goods and some of those achievements. Even those achievements also do not immediately give you anything. It's when the patch actually goes live, all of a sudden you're going to get credit for all these things, and then you're just going to start seeing a lot of mail come your way. So that's the plan that Blizzard has for that. And then I'm just going to... Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, or just come and hang out. I mean,
yeah, we have a lot of
all
fun.
sorts of fun.
Yeah. And I will say that lately I've had a real bad flare up for a few weeks now with my cystic fibrosis, and it's keeping me away from a lot of things. So I'm just resting and doing that. But other than that, I'm still very much here. There's been some questions. Somebody sent me a question about that. I was like, "Did you quit?" I'm like, No. I'm very committed.
I was gone one day.
I know. But it is that, I mean, you guys know this, right? Like the GM factor. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, no. I will often have, though sometimes I even get hospitalized for that. So, just know that that's very common for me. And I get through it like a champ. So, but I do require some rest. But I did get a couple of tells like, "Did you quit?" I'm like, no. We are very, very, I'm going to repeat, we are very committed for the entirety of the World Soul Saga, and probably beyond that. Hopefully things get... I'm very interested to see how WoW looks come midnight. So I'm really, really interested in doing that. I love the idea of having a guild house, and we're going to have a guild neighborhood. I don't know what we're going to name it, so I'll solicit some suggestions. Our guild is very, mystical and that kind of stuff. I mean, our name comes from Nostradamus. We are the last prophecy of Nostradamus. So, in those wavelengths are kind of funky and fun, right? So, if you have any suggestions, please do let me know. But we'll have our neighborhood and all of that good stuff, and we'll have Tavern Night because I'm an RPer at heart, and so we'll have that. And I'm also very committed to trying to stay as active as possible, guys, through the duration of a season. It's really, really tough at the end of an expansion, the last season of an expansion, to have to keep people active. So I do ask that you guys, really come into the Discord. I made a spot for you guys doing the Legion remix stuff. Come into the Discord, hang out with each other, get to know each other, and stay active. We want you guys to do that. I'm also going to be doing a guild social here soon. I'll probably take one of those Monday nights to do it. So the guild social, for those of you guys don't know, is where we actually play another game. So whether it's Cards Against Humanity, Among Us, what else? There's a whole bunch of them that we can play, and then we just hang out, have a couple of beers, truth or drink, because it's our version of Truth or Dare. We are an adult guild, so I'll be scheduling that here soon. So make sure you guys catch that too. And then I just open it up and let you guys, any questions, any suggestions, anything that anybody has on anything at all. Awesome, Guts. Yeah, for sure. So you can, we can put you on the primary roster if you can commit to those days and times.
Yeah, right now.
Awesome. Fantastic. Anyone else have any feedback? Any? Caligula, how are the Mariners?
Too soon.
Wrong time to answer that.
Yikes. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys giving me a little bit of time today. And let's go kick ass tonight. Let's get that looming. Yeah. I'll be watching.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah. Take care.